Hello students, welcome to part 2 of chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants, and today we are going to discuss about different types of roots, functions and modifications of roots. So there are two types of roots, tap roots and fibrous root. Fibrous roots are also called as adventitious roots. So these are adventitious roots, roots which does not arise from the radicle. Any other part but not the radicle are fibrous root. In taproot you can see there is a primary root. As you can see in this picture, this is a primary root. Primary root gives out branches which are called as secondary root, and secondary root later gives out again branches called as tertiary roots. And the arrangement is acropetal arrangement. It is broader. The older roots are at the base, it is broader at the base, and then it tapers towards the apex. So acropetal arrangement is seen, whereas a tuft of same sized hair like fibrous roots, when they arise from the base of the stem, they are called as fibrous root or adventitious root. Let us see more detailed differentiation between taproot and fibrous root. So taproot and adventitious root. Taproot they develop from the radicle of the seed, whereas adventitious roots they develop from any other part of the plant body but not the radicle. Taproots are found in dicot plants, as you can see, examples mustard, sunflower, mango, or any dicot plant for that matter, your beans, pea, okay, leguminous plants. Whereas adventitious or fibrous roots are found in monocots such as maize, wheat, sugarcane, bajra, jawar, and so on. Taproot, as we saw in the picture, they produces primary root, secondary root, and tertiary branches. Such branches are absent in adventitious roots. The branches we saw, they were arranged in acropetal succession, whereas in the fibrous root they arise from the base of the stem and they are arranged in a tuft. Almost all are of same size, height, length. The radicle in the taproot is long lived, whereas the radicle here it is short lived, and therefore the root does not arise from the radicle but any other part in case of fibrous root. Tap roots are always underground, but adventitious roots may be underground or they may be aerial. So this is the difference between taproot and adventitious roots. Now let us see modifications of taproot first, and that too for storage of food. In this we will see the first step, that is fusiform root. You can see this is a picture of radish, and here you can see that it is spindle shaped, broad in the center, tapering towards the end. Such type of fusiform spindle shaped structure is present in taproot. The primary root becomes swollen. Which part of the root becomes swollen in the taproot? The primary root becomes swollen in the middle, and it gradually tapers at the end towards the base and the apex. Such roots are called as fusiform roots. Example, radish. Scientific name of radish is Raphanus sativus. So fusiform root. Second type of root modification of taproot for storage of food is conical root. Example is carrot. You can see that the root is becoming cone shaped, broad at the base, and it is tapering towards the apex. Example, carrot, Daucus carota. Napiform root, again taproot modified to store food. Here the shape you can see in case of beet, that is Beta vulgaris. Initially it is spherical and then it tapers down. Such structure it is called as napiform root, and this is again for storage of food. Modification in taproot, the primary root is becoming swollen and then it gives out branches, secondary and fine, very fine tertiary roots. Such type of napiform root is also found in turnip. You can see napiform structure in turnip. Let us see next modification, that is modification for respiration or pneumatophores or breathing roots or respiratory roots. These are usually found in case of mangroves. Who are mangroves? Mangroves are those plants which grow in saline water. They are halophytes. They grow in saline water, in marshy places, in swampy places. So in this region where there is too much of marsh, dampness, too much of soil in this salt in the soil, there is no air available for the roots. So now here the roots they will become positively phototrophic and negatively geo and hydrotrophic, exactly opposite to the normal character of the root. They are growing above the ground as spikes. You can see such type of spikes, and on this spike there are pores. These pores are called as lenticels, and these lenticels they act as the breathing pores. They are acting as the pneumatophores. Pneuma means lung, pores means spores. So they literally bring about exchange of gases. So plants which are growing in saline water, swampy region, marshy region are called as halophyte. Phyta plant, halosaline. The roots of these plants do not get air, For respiration, because the soil is lodged with water as well as salts. The underground roots therefore becomes uh, opposite in nature. They become positively phototrophic, negatively geo and hydrotrophic, start growing above the ground like spikes. They are having such type of pneumatophores, and thus they are called as respiratory roots. They are called as apogeotropic, apo opposite to geotrophic. They start growing opposite. They have lenticels called as nematodes, which carry out exchange of gases. So it is found in mangroves such as Rhizophora, Avicennia, Soneraceae, Heritiera, etc. Sundari plants, mangrove plants. Modification for respiration. Next, modification for nitrogen fixation in case of leguminous plants. These leguminous plants, they need lot of nitrites and nitrates, but for because they are going to produce proteins. Now they are growing in the soil having nitrites and nitrates which they cannot directly absorb. Cannot be absorbed directly. So in their roots, in the tap roots, in the primary roots especially, there are nodules present, as you can see in the picture. And inside this nodule, bacteria stays there. Which bacteria stays there? Rhizobium leguminarium. And this bacteria, rhizobium, it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen, converts it into nitrite and nitrate, and give it to the plant. The plant will then prepare amino acids from it, and then it will help in preparation of proteins, which is present in the beans. These are leguminous. Having legumes means beans, or what we can say in Marathi as sheng. So in return, what is the plant giving to the bacteria? The bacteria is getting food and shelter. So there is a symbiotic association between rhizobium and the roots of the leguminous plant. So modification for nitrogen fixation. Now we are going to study about modifications of adventitious roots for storage of food. Before this, we saw the modification of taproot. Adventitious root, first we'll talk about simple tuberous root. From the picture you can identify it is sweet potato, also called as shakarkand or Ipomia batatas, rattalu. So you will see that it is a root because it is not having any node, internode. It is developed from a single node, and one of the fibrous root, it becomes swollen. It does not has a definite shape, and it becomes tuberous and stores the food. So simple tuberous root, sweet potato, modification of adventitious root. In case of fasciculated tuberous root, the bunch of the fibrous root, each one of them become fleshy, swollen. Such bunch of fleshy, swollen roots are called as fasciculated tuberous roots. You can see them, they are present in Dahlia, asparagus. Asparagus means shatavari. You can see that there are bunch of swollen adventitious root. Why is this modification? For storage of food. Let us see now modification for mechanical support. You can see such type of modification in case of banyan tree, that is Ficus bengalensis, and this modification, these roots are called as prop roots. Banyan tree is a very huge tree with heavy branches. It is having taproot below, but the weight of the branches cannot be borne by that those taproot. So aerial roots are arising from the nodes, and they start penetrating towards the soil. They are hygroscopic initially, and when they penetrate the soil, these props, they act as pillars, providing mechanical support to the heavy branches of Ficus bengalensis. So these prop roots are modification of adventitious root. Why they are adventitious roots, though they are present in dicot plants? Because they are not arising from the radicle, but they are arising from the nodes of the branches. They are aerial root. Any root which is arising from any other part but not radical is a fibrous root. So it is an adventitious root. I hope you have followed. Providing mechanical support, prop roots. After this, we'll see stilt roots. In case of maize, sugarcane, you see that the plants are growing very, very tall, sometimes 15 feet in height. And they below the ground, these tall plants, they are having the adventitious roots. These adventitious roots are not capable enough to bear the weight or support this long elongated stem. So towards the basal nodes, you will see here in the picture, number of roots, they are coming from all the direction throughout the circumference of the lower nodes, and they are penetrating deep down into the soil, providing extra support to these elongated monocot stems. Such roots are called as stilt roots or brace roots. So these are aerial adventitious roots arising from the basal nodes. Sometimes they also help in absorption of minerals and waters and provide additional support. Such type of roots are found in monocots such as maize, sugarcane, jawar, bajra, etc. And they are usually growing in holes. So these roots are stilt roots, modification of adventitious roots for support. Now we are going to see a special type of stilt root which is present in Kevada or Pandanus, screw pine. Here you will see that the the stilt roots are arising only from the base of the node, and therefore many of them are arising and all of them are having root pockets. And as they are arising only from the basal region of the node of the stem, you will see that this plant is almost tilted plants. They are arising from the lower surface, obliquely growing stem to provide support. In pandanus, this root bears multiple root caps. Can be asked in MCQ. Multiple root caps are found in pandanus, kevada. It is also called as screw pine because of so many stilt roots, and it bends on one side. So they are also providing mechanical support, brace roots. Now we'll see buttress root. Buttress root are very large roots. You might have seen such type of roots growing all over the soil. Usually they are found in the soil which is poor in nutrients, and these buttress root they will just spread in all the direction to derive more nutrition. They do not penetrate deep into the soil, and they will prevent the tree from falling down because they will be helping in gathering more and more nutrients. Let us talk about next modification, that is for climbing roots or clinging root, which is found in pothos plant. Pothos plant means money plant. These money plants, from the node of the stem arises special type of roots which are non-absorptive, but yeah, they may be hygroscopic, and they will cling to any support that is coming by secreting certain gummy substance. And these are the clinging roots or climbing roots found in beetle. Beetle is piper beetle, pan. We eat pan, no? So that piper beetle or beetle leaf is having, beetle plant is having such climbing root. Money plant, also called as pothos, has these climbing roots. You might have seen it will spread on the entire wall by these clinging roots. It is also found in Tecoma, Ficus pumila. And in case of ivy, they are producing adhesive disc, and with the help of the adhesive disc, a vacuum is created and the entire plant will climb on the support. So, climbing roots or clinging roots present in pothos, piper beetle, kali mirchi, piper nigrum, kali miri we call it, and even in ivy. So, modification for mechanical support. Now, let us talk about very interesting epiphytic root. First, let us understand the meaning of the word epiphytic plant. Epi means above, phyta means plants. Plants growing on other plants, but not taking nutrition from that plant. It is just taking support. Usually, these epiphytic plants like orchids, like vanda, they are found in dense forest. Huge trees grow. So if these plants start growing on the ground, they will not receive sunlight. So start growing above huge trees, on the branches of huge trees, and they produce green leaves. They have green leaves, so they carry out their own photosynthesis. Suppose it is growing on a huge mango tree or a banyan tree or any huge tree. This is vanda. It produces two types of roots. One type of root are clinging root. The clinging root will provide support, and the second type of root are the epiphytic root, which are greenish in color, which are having special type of tissues called as velament tissue, and this velament tissue is hygroscopic in nature, and it will help in absorbing nutrients. It is spongy tissue, nutrients, moisture from the atmosphere. So epiphytic roots like vanda, vanilla, dendrobium, they grow on other plants only for support. They will manufacture their own food with the help of photosynthesis. All the nutrients are absorbed by this velamen tissue, and the clinging root provide them support. Even the spongy tissues, velamen, as it is greenish in color, they may also perform photosynthesis. So they're also called as assimilatory roots, roots performing photosynthesis and helping to store food. So epiphytes have clinging roots as well as they have these special type of velamen tissue containing roots, epiphytic root. Next, we'll talk about parasitic root or found in Kasku, wiry yellow colored thing growing. They are non photosynthetic because they do not have pigments. They cannot manufacture their own food, so they produce special type of roots called as hostorium. This hostorium, this is the host plant. The hostorium penetrates into the host plant, into the vascular bundle of the host plant, derive all the nourishment, water, mineral, and it is a total parasite. It will harm the host plant. So Cuscuta, dodder plant, uh, it is also called as amarvale. It will produce haustoria, which will penetrate into the xylem phloem of the host, absorb all the water minerals and organic food, and harm the host. So, Haustorium parasitic roots. Special modifications are assimilatory or photosynthetic roots, which are found in Tinospora. You just remember, assimilatory roots are found in Tinospora. Assimilatory means what? They are green in color. As they are green in color, they are carrying out photosynthesis. So, they are helping in assimilation. Also, they are helping in climbing. So, Tinospora having assimilatory or photosynthetic roots. Now, let us see palmate tuberous roots. You can see sometimes the roots, adventitious roots, they become palm shape, human hand palm shape, fleshy. They may store food or they may help in anchoring. So, example, orchis. This is the nodulous root. Nodulous root is present in mango ginger, curcuma amada. Now, always remember, students, curcuma domestica is a stem. We are talking about curcuma amada. In Marathi, we call it as ambe halad, or in Hindi we call it as ambe haldi. It is a adventitious roots. Nodules are arising and they store food. Okay, so beads or ambe halad, mango, ginger, curcuma amada having nodulous root. It is different from curcuma domestica. I will teach you curcuma domestica later in the next video. Then adventitious roots, moniliform. You can see beaded structure as if number of beads are present. Such moniliform structures, such roots which are swollen and constricted. Swollen, constricted, swollen, constricted, swollen, constricted. Such type of roots are called as moniliform root, and they are found in Karela, bitter gourd. Scientific name Momordica carentia. Or they are also found in Palak, Indian spinach. Moniliform. The last type we will study is annulated root. Here the roots are like rings. You know the word annelida having segments. So here they are also having such segments. Annulated roots having disc-like structures placed one above the other. Found in Ipecac, Psychotria ipecacaunha. So students, I hope you understood all the different modifications of root and their function. In next video, we'll discuss about stem, functions and modifications of stem. Thank you.